So we're on part 3 of chapter 18, social psychology, from the David Myers 8th edition psychology textbook. So we're looking at altruism. Altruism is the unselfish regard for the welfare of others. So you do something just to do it for goodness sake. I mean, that's it. So equity is a condition in which people receive from a relationship and proportion to what they give. So you give and you take in an equity relationship. Self-disclosure is when you feel like you can reveal your most intimate details of yourself to this other person and not fear rejection. So when we look at the bystander effects, this is like that Kitty Genovese story. So it's the tendency of any given bystander to be less likely to give aid if some other bystander is present. So it's kind of this bystander effect. If there's witnesses, we're just like pass the blame off to them and let them help the person versus actually helping them. So it's better to be actually stranded on a country road than in the city, because when you're on a country road, you can't pass the burden off to someone else because someone else might not come out that way for another hour or two. But on the interstate, you know, someone's definitely going to come by within the next 2 minutes, so you just keep on driving by that person. So we look at bystander intervention. Here's how we actually think about it. Is someone else actually going to respond? And is it an immediate emergency, you know? And do you actually assume responsibility for it? So if you do, you notice it, you actually see it as an emergency, and you assume responsibility for it, you actually attempt to help. So we look at the norms for helping. There's this social exchange theory. So our social behavior is an exchange process. So the aim to maximize benefits and minimize costs. So we look at reciprocal norm. And so when we look at the reciprocity norm, is this expectation that we should help, return help, and not harm those who have helped us. So I give so that you may give. And then the social responsibility norm is pretty much learned, and it's a norm that tells us to help others even if they may never ever repay us. So you give every year to like the canned food drive, even though you know those people are never going to send you a thank you note or know that you helped at all. So that's the social responsibility. It's just socially your responsibility to help those who are less fortunate. For the reciprocal norm, you expect some sort of payback. You expect the person to help you out. For peacemaking, we look at subordinate goals, and these are shared goals that override differences among people and require their cooperation. So when you're on a team, you expect the goal is to win, and so you kind of get along and cooperate for that fact. Communication and understanding develop through talking to one another, and sometimes it can be mediated by that third party. When we look at grit, what this is a strategy designed to decrease international relationship. And so one side is going to recognize interest, the mutual interest, and tries to initiate some sort of small conciliatory act that opens up the door for the other party to actually reciprocate. So you do one little thing, you see that there is a common interest between the two of you, and hopefully because you did one little thing, this other party will also do something for you. So that's the end of social psych, and so that's part 3. I'm sorry it took 3 parts, but hey, that's life.